So Diablo 4 launched a couple days ago, and the game itself, honestly, pretty good. Really fun. The developers did a good job with it. You can tell a lot of love was put into this title, and people are generally having a good time, and that's great to hear. But we absolutely have to talk about the microtransactions, and at this point, the term microtransaction is such a misnomer. It is such a deceit. Anytime companies use the term microtransactions, it just feels like false marketing because there's nothing micro about these transactions anymore. Which is a damn shame because I would consider buying some of this stuff to support a game that I like if they were reasonable in their pricing. But at the level of Diablo 4 here, there is no way in hell one could call this micro. And do keep in mind that this is a $70 game we're talking about. Overwatch 2 is a free-to-play game, and people have issues with the pricing of the cosmetics of that title. Diablo 4 is a full-priced $70 game with numerous additions. It has a battle pass. It's got all kinds of monetization practices imbued in it, and they can't afford to reduce the prices of cosmetics to a reasonable degree. And sure, these microtransactions are cosmetic only or whatever, but video games are a visual medium, and with a game like Diablo, you know, a big part of the experience is how you express yourself through your player character, through your avatar. Cosmetic becomes a game within itself where obtaining these cosmetics and looking badass is part of the fun, and that aspect is diminished when so many of the best looking cosmetics and some of the most desirable cosmetics are locked behind a paywall that is utterly ludicrous. So, let me break down the cost of things and how this whole system works. So obviously there's a premium currency in this game. It's called Platinum, and this is what the prices look like. The easiest way to look at the conversion here is that 100 Platinum represents $1, or 1,000 Platinum represents $10, and sure, with higher tiers you get some free Platinum that might make some things a little cheaper, but for the sake of simplicity, let's just look at it as 100 Platinum equals $1. So I'm playing as the Necromancer here, and what the shop recommends from me are some of these cosmetics. Now, among the most highly coveted and priciest is the Wraithlord skin here, which certainly looks cool, and I'm sure plenty of people would love to equip this cosmetic and run around looking like this. Except the price of this thing is, as you can see right here, 2,800 Platinum.
Sound selection.
This is what this looks like. Here's the description of it, and this is the set that you're given. These are the individual items of the set, rather. 2,800 Platinum to purchase this. That's roughly $28. Now you can make it $25 if you purchase this package of Platinums right here, where you get 300 free for buying this particular tier. So you do get that exact 2,800. So $3 less, $25, still way too expensive. That's roughly a third of the price of Diablo 4. That is roughly a good indie game on Steam or on consoles. Again, how are we still calling these micro transactions? They're just full-on transactions. They are macro transactions. And this is just a single skin. If we look at all the other ones and look at their cost, you can see this one right here, $18 for this armor cosmetic set. You've got this one right here that's $20. This one right here is $800, but this doesn't come with much. In terms of the armor, the stuff that will be most prominently displayed on screen, that's the stuff where the prices are jacked up. This right here is $10, but it doesn't come with that much. It's just a bunch of accessories. You got this equipment set right here. This is $24. So if you really want to play around with your character's appearance, you're going to be spending a pretty penny. You might be spending dozens to hundreds of dollars on top of the $70 you spent on the base game. That is if you bought the base edition. Even more expensive if you bought some kind of deluxe edition. And you got this one right here, the Triune Apostate. That's $25. Some really cool looking pieces of cosmetic that could have been integrated as part of the rewards loop of the game, but instead relegated to a shop, to a microtransaction system that is woefully overpriced, woefully unreasonable, unlike the sponsor of today's video, Raycon, whose earbuds are as high quality as as they are affordable.
Raycon is setting out to prove that you don't need to break the bank to get great audio pumped right into your ears in a convenient, portable, and premium form factor. And from my experience, they're definitely into something here. Having used these earbuds at home, on the go, in the gym, you name it, I've been really happy with the crisp, balanced, and bassy audio they produce. Sound quality that's comparable to that of earbuds from other more prominent big tech brands. Beyond that, these earbuds are incredibly feature complete, with the buttons on each side allowing you to control media playback, selection, and volume, activate voice assistant, answer and end calls, turn on sound isolation, and even change between different sound profiles. They're also super comfortable, lightweight, and out of the way by being flush with your ears, with multiple tips to choose from for the perfect fit. For added ease of mind, they're not only water and sweat resistant, but they also offer a whopping 8 hours of playback on a charge, with the charging case offering an additional 32 hours of battery. For all this, Raycons are so affordable you can buy a second pair and still pay less compared to big tech brands' offerings. And you can get yours now at an even better price point if you click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/yongya to get 15% off your Raycon purchase.
These are microtransactions you'd expect to see in free-to-play games, and even then, it's really pushing it. Even free-to-play titles, I feel, should reduce the price of these cosmetics so they become more accessible, because believe it or not, your character's appearance is a big part of online gaming culture. I mean, freaking kids have gotten bullied because they can't afford to buy a Fortnite skin and keep using the default skin or don't have the premium skins. And those are just kids, sure, but you know, there is a certain sense of feeling good that comes with knowing that your character looks as badass as you want him to look. And for someone like me who does care about how my character looks, there is a sense of fun in being able to constantly be able to tweak my character's appearance and have the flexibility to do so. Striving to earn those cosmetic rewards is a big satisfying part of keeping me going in a game, keeping me playing, and keeping me obtaining more rewards. And that's why they sell so well. There is an emotional satisfaction that cosmetics bring, and that's what microtransactions take advantage of. And it just sucks to see stuff like this paywall to such an egregious degree that, you know, to obtain all of these, most people can't afford this. You know, this is for the rich, which shouldn't be the case for a video game that's meant to be fun and as accessible as possible to bring in as many people as possible. Like, yes, it doesn't give you a gameplay advantage, but you don't always strive for, you know, victory conditions. Sometimes you just want to strive to look good. That's like one of the goals of a game like this, and you can set your own goals in these kinds of online environments, and appearance can be one of those goals. And this is just the Necromancer cosmetics we're looking at. If you want to play as other classes and get the cosmetics for them that you most desire that are paywalled behind these ludicrously priced microtransactions, that's hundreds of more dollars you might be spending on this game that simply asks for too much money. And by the way, Diablo 4, the best-selling game in Blizzard's history. It's gonna make its money back through its $70 price alone, and yet it's asking for these ludicrous prices. If we want to call these transactions micro, then we should start limiting them at $5 maximum for the rarest cosmetics and for the rarest microtransactions purchases like this Wraithlord set. Otherwise, we should stop calling them microtransactions, because at this point, it's really becoming just false marketing. And you can see scrolling down that other classes have similarly expensive cosmetics. Here's a $26 Druid cosmetic armor set. Here's more Necromancer stuff. Here is the Rogue. Here's one that's $25 for the Sorcerer. Here's a set that's $25. And the cherry on top. Remember horse armor back in the day when Bethesda kickstarted the whole movement of microtransactions through frickin' horse armor? Remember back in the day when that cosmetic element was just a couple dollars? And back then, that was considered egregious and Bethesda got blasted for that simple microtransaction? Well, check out where we're at now. This is literally cosmetics for horses. This is literally, basically, Bethesda horse armor, except the prices are far more ludicrous now. This one right here, this badass looking one, $16 for cosmetics for a mount. We have other ones as well. Some are cheaper here, like this one, which is $8, still far too expensive. And this cosmetic, nowhere near as compelling as something as decorative as this. And then we've got another rarer cosmetic here that's priced at $15. Utterly ridiculous where we have come, how much corporations in the games industry have pushed the line of microtransactions, the goalpost of microtransactions, to a point where horse armor that's $16 now is just normal, and it's accepted enough that companies are not afraid to implement them. And I guess ultimately these microtransactions do make enough money even at this price point. Enough people do buy them that corporations don't feel pressured to lower these prices, because at the end of the day, they're raking in bank. Financial results is the only language that corporations speak, and if the financial results say, hey, keep going, we're making a bunch of money, regardless of whether it's exploitative or not, they will keep doing it so long as the law allows them and so long as the PR backlash doesn't negatively impact their financial standing. I appreciate that Diablo 4 is a fun game. I appreciate that there is a lot of content there that's compelling, but this is certainly a stain in all of that. If these were $5 max and, you know, we got price points between $1 and $5, then people would not be complaining. We would not be talking about this. If we're getting free content throughout this live service, then people might think of it as just an investment that will help developers just make more of the free content, though there are going to be paid expansions for this game. So that's something else worth keeping in mind that further makes it harder to justify the price point or potentially the existence of these cosmetic microtransactions, these cosmetics that could have just been a part of the rewards loop, and some of the most compelling ones could have been sought after through gameplay that is more difficult, that rewards players for overcoming great challenges. That's just diminished in a way that just wasn't the case in years past, when games were so much purer and felt like everything was built around just whether the game is offering the most fun to players and offering them the best rewards for the tasks that they are assigned. That's all I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like we can both say that there's a good game here that is enjoyable to play, while also saying that the microtransactions aspect is woefully unacceptable, and this should really not be the standard when we're dealing with a $70, not even $60, $70 price game with deluxe editions and other forms of monetization. These prices are utterly and completely disgusting, and it's a practice that I will continue calling out, and hopefully others will continue to do so, because it's the only way to eradicate a practice like this, to spread the word of mouth, and to ultimately speak with your wallet. But that's just one man's take. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Diablo 4 as a game, as well as its microtransactions element. Is it something that bothers you as much as it bothers me, or is it something that you just kind of forgive? I envy those who don't care enough about cosmetics to let stuff like this bother them. But the thing is, plenty of people, myself included, do, and it just sucks to see cosmetics go in this direction. But that's just me. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.